Hi guys, welcome back to Rad's Retreat, my little home of wood turning. We've been looking at finishes. We've just been looking at wax finishes, and prior to that we were having a look at some of the oil finishes. In this video we're going to be looking at some of the hard coat finishes. By hard coat I mean that you put them on in a liquid form and they then cure to a hard coating, such as varnish, lacquers, stuff like that. You guys know what I'm on about. Anyway, excuse me, these are a few of the ones that I do use and a couple that I don't use as well. We'll start off at the front here. This is General Finishes Armour Seal Oil and Urethane Top Coat. It's basically a wipe on urethane, isn't it? Not too impressed with it. I bought it to give it a try. It wasn't cheap either at £10.40 a tin. I think it's even more than that now. But I'm not bothered about it. This is General Finishes Gel Top Coat Wipe on Urethane. This is satin. Now, I gave this a try and it wasn't too bad. I'm not a lover of urethane finishes, basically. They have got the uses, but just not on my wood turnings generally. I have used it once or twice, but it's a finish. I'm glad I've got it in, because if I was to throw it out, you can guarantee that there'd be a job for it the following day. So I'm glad I've got it that way. But in general, I don't generally use wipe on urethanes or any urethanes. Right, we'll move on. Acrylic sanding sealer. Acrylics have come on in leaps and bounds in the last 10 years. The drying time used to be the big stumbling point. Well, the drying times have improved vastly now. This is Chestnut acrylic sanding sealer. It's still not as quick drying as a cellulose sanding sealer. It's not going to dry in 5 minutes. It takes about an hour, maybe 2 hours, depending on the temperature and humidity. But it's a lot quicker drying than it used to be. I generally use the brush-on ones, same with the acrylic lacquer. I'm not a lover, although you wouldn't believe it looking at the sprays in the back, I'm not a lover of spray-ons. I'd rather use a foam brush to apply. I don't like the fact that when you use a spray, half of it ends up floating around in the atmosphere. So I generally use brush-ons. But Chestnut, I've been using them for quite a while. Well, since I started wood turning. In fact, before I started wood turning. So that's over 10 years. And I've been very happy with them. It's a quality product. And of course, it's easy to clean up after as well, with it being water-based. Now, Chestnut, they also do a spray-on version of that as well. Acrylic sanding sealer, but spray-on. But again, I'm not a big lover, as I say, because half of it ends up in the atmosphere, not on your workpiece. Again, they do a gloss lacquer, but again, half of it ends up in the atmosphere. This is Chestnut Cellulose Sanding Sealer. Again, I prefer brush-on, but there are certain times when this is faster to use. But you've got that horrible smell then in your shack. And I'm not a big lover of spray-on finishes. But they do provide a good hard coating. And as I say, I've been using Chestnut products for a long time now. They've proven over the years to be a good quality product, so I have no problems with them. But in general, I'm not a lover of hard coat finishes. The only ones really I use is acrylic lacquer and acrylic sanding sealer, and I will use cellulose sanding sealer brush on as well for pens and such. You know, if I'm doing a sanding sealer and carnauba wax finish, then I'll use cellulose sanding sealer for the simple fact that it dries a lot quicker. Although, you know, the water-based acrylics now, you know, they're cut down well on the time that they take to dry. This tin in the back is ebonising lacquer. It's basically, I'm not sure whether it's a cellulose product or an acrylic. But basically it's got a pigment in it, a black pigment. You spray your work with it and it makes it look as though it's ebony. It ebonizes the wood. I use this stuff for walking sticks or walking canes. I'll buy a nice chromed knob or a nice brass knob for the top, a nice brass join for the middle and a nice brass ferrule for the bottom. Spray it with this, put them on, and it looks really good. The only problem is it chips easy, so if you do use this stuff, put a coat of lacquer over the top of it. It gives it a lot more strength, because of course if you chip it, it's going to show the wood, the original wood colour underneath it, and it spoils the whole effect. So if you put a coat or two of lacquer over the top of it, it gives it a lot more strength. Right, that's about it. It's not going to be a long video because I don't use them a great deal. The only ones really that I use is acrylic sanding sealer and acrylic lacquer and cellulose sanding sealer brush on. I don't use these. Occasionally I will use these, but it is very occasionally. These two I generally don't use at all, but I have got them in just in case. Right guys, as I said, it's going to be a quick one because I don't generally use a lot of hard coatings, of hard top coatings. So we'll end it there. I'm mainly an oil and wax man myself. Right, I'll end it there guys. Thanks for joining me on these videos. I do appreciate you watching, and I hope you'll join me on my future ones. If you have enjoyed the video, by the way, if you'd like to click on the thumbs up button, it lets me know you've enjoyed it. Also, there is the comments section if you've got any comments or questions. Or maybe you'd like to subscribe. That would be even better. That would be really super great and smashing. Okay? If you don't want to do either, that's no problem. I'm not going to take you up on it. Right, I'll catch you later guys. Take care now. Take care in those workshops. Watch your fingers, your eyes, and more importantly, your lungs, because you won't do much wood turning without those. I'll catch you later guys. Bye bye now.